From Mamma Mia, welcome to The Spill, your daily pop culture fix. I'm Laura Brodnick.
And I'm Ksenia Lukic.
And today is, I'm going to say, my favourite episode of the week because it is a weekend watch where we get to bring you the best new TV shows and movies that have just premiered this week you can watch for the weekend. And the good thing is that we get to watch everything early before it comes out so we can weed out the bad stuff and just give you the good stuff.
Honestly, the best thing about this job is getting screeners early. I feel so special all the time.
Yeah, exactly. But
I
then you're
love
like,
it.
I'm like, I want to just post on my Insta story as I normally do about stuff I love, like every second of what I'm watching. But the Netflix lords will take us down, so we can't do that.
They
but it's
will.
okay. Embargoes have lifted. We can freely talk now, which I know is good because I know there's a show that you hinted at last week that we weren't allowed to discuss that you can now tell us properly about.
And this has been so anticipated and, you know, like promoted by Netflix. It is Lena Dunham's return to television. It is too much, and that is out now for you guys. Now, we both love this show. Actually, the whole office loves this show. We've had a really good feedback on it. Now, if you're familiar with Lena Dunham's work before, she obviously did Girls back in the 2010s. I will say that Too Much, particularly the first episode, is very girls coded.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is the humor is the same, which makes sense because Lena is writing it, directing it. So her, you know, her voice is very much all over this. However, Too Much it goes deeper than Girls did. Now, it's 10 episodes. Each episode's about an hour. Now, it stars Megan Statler, who plays Jessica. She's in her early 30s. She just breaks up with her ex-boyfriend and decides to kind of shake things up a bit and move to London.
Mm-hmm.
On her first night in London, she meets a very handsome musician called Felix, played by Will Sharp, and they have this love affair.
Mm-hmm.
It's really funny, but it's not a rom-com.
Yes, I think that's the important thing. Like at the top of my review, I'm kind of hammering this thing of like, I don't want it to be like Materialist where people go into something because they've watched half the trailer and they think it's this frothy rom-com and it's got comedic elements and love elements, but it is also a drama at its core. In saying that though, I found the humor, like Megan Statler's performance is so good. I think a lot of people fell in love with her in Hacks. She's like the breakout star of that. She is so compelling and funny in this. Lena Dunham's writing is so funny. It's a lot of physical humor, a lot of pop culture based humor, which I love. And it's basically, she is in New York. She has ended a long-term relationship. She doesn't know what to do. She gets sent to London. This is where the rom-com factor comes in because that sort of stuff only happens in movies and TV shows. Can I just say my life has also got off the rails many times and no one at Mamma Mia sent me to London or Emily in Paris or anything like that. So I'm just saying we need to kind of kick that up a notch. And Lena Dunham did say that she is a huge lover of rom-coms and that was a bit of the catalyst for this story. It's also from the producers of movies like Notting Hill and Love Actually.
Yeah.
So you do have those elements dotted through there. It's also very loosely based on Lena Dunham's own love story of that when she had been through a huge breakup with Jack Antonoff. She went to London and met Louis Felber and they had this whirlwind romance and now they're married.
Yeah.
Doesn't exactly play out the same way in the show. Like I don't want to get into what happens in their characters for spoilers, but it is that kind of idea of like an American and a British man falling in love. But it's just such a good show. I just devoured and inhaled every second of it.
So what I will say about this, it's because it's 10 episodes, each episode is quite long.
Yeah.
I would say take your time with it. I don't normally say to people don't binge because I'm a huge binger when it comes to TV, but take your time. Let each episode digest because they do kind of sit quite on their own.
And there's a lot of storyline, a lot of plot happening. Like I feel like I had to speed through a few of them, but you do sometimes have to give yourself a moment to process what happened in each episode because it's a lot.
It is a lot and it's really well written. The, you know, British humour, American humor kind of meshes together.
Yeah.
Lena Dunham is in it as the older sister of Jessica.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, really great show. Absolutely loved it. So get on watching that. But watch it slowly, please.
Watch it slowly,
just
drink it in.
Yeah, marinate, let it settle and then go to the next step.
Yes. Okay, the other show that I wanted to recommend for this week, bit of a different take, but it's for people like me who love a thriller, love a bit of horror, love a bit of sci-fi. It is The Institute, which is premiering on Stan this weekend, July 13. So The Institute is based on the best-selling novel by one of my favorite authors in the whole world. I don't know if anyone else has heard of him, Stephen King, one of his best.
Just the little known author, Stephen King.
Yeah, one of his best-selling novels, The Institute, is now a TV series. It's also from the director of one of my favorite current TV shows and a show that I watch over and over again, even though it terrifies me, From. It's from the director of From, which is also on Stan. I know I've talked about it in the show before. If you haven't watched that, holy hell. And he's also a director on Lost, so all these great things. They have come together to tell the adaptation of this show. So it's this really gripping story about this teen prodigy called Luke Ellis, who is abducted, and then he wakes up in the middle of the night in this facility with all these other children who have been brought there under really sinister and mysterious circumstances. And then there's also this whole thing of like them having supernatural abilities and what does it mean and who's really controlling the institute. And then there's also this other story happening at a nearby town where a police officer called Tim Jameson, played by Ben Barnes, hot, is trying to sort of outrun his past, and his world and Luke's world really collide. And I would just say, if you've read the book, which I have, you'll be really pleased and very invested in the series and how they've adapted it. And if you haven't read the book, don't look up anything, don't watch any videos, don't read any synopsis, don't do anything like that. Just watch the series so that you can experience all the twists and turns for the first time.
I actually think Stephen King is the most adapted author in Hollywood. I'm almost certain that that's the stat, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
He has had more of his books adapted to movie than like any other author.
Oh, exactly. And I feel like
Leanne Moriarty might be close second.
Oh, yes. And also the thing is like with Stephen King is like it's like TV series, movies, and he's so like also part of like the adaptation of his works. I went on a big thing in the last year of making sure that there was no Stephen King adaptation in the world that I had left unwatched. So I think I've pretty much watched all of them at this point in time. So The Institute is top of my list.
How scary is it? Because it is terrifying. I refuse to watch it.
Oh, okay.
I don't like horror.
Okay. I would say this is not as horror as some of his other adaptations. So I would say, yeah, not as intense as It, or even like as intense as something like Misery or The Stand or anything like that. Like or like Salem's Lot. Like the original Salem's Lot, very, very creepy. I would say this is sort of out of that realm a little bit. It does obviously have some tension and some scares, so maybe you should watch it in the daylight.
Yeah, I don't like scary movies.
It's not overly graphic horror. But I mean, the thing is, it is for people who love thrillers, sci-fi, horror.
I
so
like
it's
thriller and sci-fi, but I don't like horror.
Okay, well, you'll just have to see. Maybe just watch it. Watch some episodes in the light is all I'll say.
Like,
don't watch it with your kids.
Demi Moore's, The Substance?
Yeah.
I had to skip through the really graphic bits.
That's really body horror though.
Like I had to skip through. Like I really loved the story, but I had to skip through a lot of it.
Okay. You'll be okay with this.
Okay.
You might just
Can you hold my hand?
Sure. Just have your hand ready to kind of, if you have to, just sort of pop it down at one stage. But overall, out of all his works, this is probably the best one for you to wade in with. So The Institute, it's on Stan. Make sure you watch it.
Okay, so the final one that we've got is a little bit of a surprise for me because
is it?
I saw a lot of posters for this. I've been seeing it like everywhere, and I had written it off before I even watched a trailer or anything as this is going to be terrible because unfortunately, a lot of movies from this particular genre have not been very good, and we're talking about DC Universe, we're talking about Superman.
Yes. So I have a very important update for everyone. So I know last week I wasn't on Weekend Watch, but Tina Burke, who I work very, very closely with and is the entertainment editor at Mamamia, was on the show here to tell you that Jurassic World Rebirth, the new Jurassic Park movie, is pretty terrible, and she was saying that cinema is over.
She's
done.
a little bit dramatic.
Yeah, I mean, she did believe it. She's like, movie's over, Hollywood done. Like, I think she wanted to disband our entertainment team. She's like, movie's done. She and I went to the Sydney premiere of Superman this week, and we both agree, cinema, it's back. Cinema's back. It was down for a week. it's come back because this new Superman movie was so good. And I can feel some of our listeners rolling their eyes and being like, oh my God, Laura, you always talk about superhero TV shows and movies. You love everything, rah, rah, rah. Not true. I love Superman TV shows. Lois and Clark, the series from the 90s with Dean Cain and Terry Hatcher.
Oh my God, I love that one. Dean Cain. I was so obsessed with Dean Cain when I was a kid.
Hot. Their chemistry. Again, we're watching it as kids. It's very sanitized. Like it is for children in a way. That is great. That's also more of a rom-com, but it's still a superhero show. Smallville, an incredible TV show, ran for 10 seasons. Every season a banger. All the DC TV shows that have like Tyler Hoechling's version of Superman, great. The TV shows have Superman sorted. Movies, the Christopher Reeves ones were quite good, but they were like quite iconic. All the Superman movies since then, in my professional opinion, kind of duds.
Yeah, and I mean,
they don't know what to do with the character. They're bleak. They're uninteresting. Like, he can be a really bland superhero if you don't play him properly. And the last few Superman movies have left me so cold.
And I feel like as well, DC have definitely had a little bit of trouble compared to Marvel. You know, Marvel since, you know, the very first Iron Man movie has been success after success. There's been a couple of ones that have been duds, but generally they've been pretty good.
Yeah.
DC, however, apart from, you know, Dark Knight, that series, you know, the Christopher Nolan, that went really well. But Superman's really been struggling. And I feel like a lot of the DC IP, as like two little things for you there, have been, you know, taken by the CW network, which kind of makes these really like, remember like Ruby Rose did that Batgirl thing, which was a bit of a dud. But I'm really excited that it's good. And Nicholas Hoult plays Lex Luthor.
Oh, yeah. So much about this actual movie is great. So I should say that it's written, directed by James Gunn, which I know that should have been a clue that it was going to be incredible because obviously so many movies that he makes are incredible. He's the one who really shaped Guardians of the Galaxy and made that the huge part of Marvel that it is. He is the writer and director of this film. Everything about it just works. It's got a lot of comedy and humor and warmth, which I think is what you need from a Superman series, but there's also like a gravitas and like a seriousness to it, and that it's very fast paced. But David Corenswet, who has been in a lot of movies and TV shows, but this is, I've got to say, his huge breakout role. He plays Clark Kent, Superman. I'm chatting to a lot of people about this, the hottest Superman so far. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it. Also very charismatic and a bit of a doofus in the best way, which is what Superman's supposed to be. Rachel Brosnahan plays Lois Lane, and she is one of the main reasons I went because she played Midge in The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, one of my favorite TV shows. She is so great as Lois Lane, like the perfect, and she also has her own big story and her own like side characters and her own things that are going on. She's not just a damsel in distress. And then, yes, Nicholas Hoult plays Lex Luthor.
Oh my God, do you know what? Like, he looks so hot with that blonde hair.
Okay, the blonde hair is so funny because we had people in our office who were like, oh, I don't really care about Superman. I don't want to see this movie, but I'm going to go because I want to see him with the blonde hair.
No, he's bald.
And and then Tina Burke and I had to say, just a second, you know that he's bald in this, right? Lex Luthor, famously a bald character. And there's a whole backstory of how that happens. So they didn't go to the movie. Because they didn't want to see him with the blonde hair.
So I actually just listened to a Smartless episode with Nicholas Hoult.
Yeah.
And he was talking about the reason he's blonde is because he's doing a new movie now.
Yeah.
But he looks so good with it. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. He's a hot man.
I've got a crush on Lex Luthor, but I wish he did have blonde hair. I know he's bald. I know there's like
he's
a reason
bald.
for that.
Can I just say he's hot bald?
Okay.
He's got this kind of like very villainous element about him that makes Lex Luthor not just like, he can sometimes be a bit of a caricature, but you're like, this man does feel very threatening. There's so many good side characters. Nathan Fillion is in it, which I know a lot of people love from the TV show Castle. I love him from Firefly. He's in it. Isabella Merced, who is just had a great run in The Last of Us.
Millie Alcock is Supergirl.
Yeah, so that is a bit of a review. Like we knew that was coming, but you do get your first glimpse of Australian actress Millie Alcock as Supergirl, and that's like a really fun moment. And overall, I just found it a really enjoyable film. Superman's got a dog. That's fun. There's a dog in the mix. If that's your thing, he's got a cape. He flies. Overall, just a really, really fun movie. So I just want to sort of say that I don't take it lightly, like recommending movies movies that people have to go and see at the cinema, because I'm aware that cinema tickets are expensive and like you might have to like get a babysitter, or you might have to give up like your one free night to go. So I'll just say that like if you love superhero movies, you'll really enjoy this. If you're just looking for a fun movie, you don't have to know all of the superhero lore behind this. It just stands as its own. There's lots of little callbacks for the to like the original comics in the dialogue, but if you don't know what those are, it's fine. You can just enjoy the action and the humor and the love story. And yeah, Superman, out the movies now. A little indie film, give it a chance.
Yeah, a few things to watch this weekend.